That's what we're talking about right now. It's Prop 30, the sales and income tax increase initiative. Here to discuss and break it down for us is Chris Cate. He's Vice President of the San Diego County Taxpayers Association. Good morning once again.
Good morning.
Now, some people call it the sales and income tax increase initiative. Those in favor of it call it the Schools and Local Public Safety Protection Act. Sounds like we should all be in favor of something like that.
Right, absolutely. I mean, they are coming out and campaigning for all this new money that can go to schools and hire teachers, hire firefighters, hire police officers and whatnot. But when you dig a little deeper into the details and what actually is asking of taxpayers in California, I think voters are going to see that they've spent enough money on government and giving money to Sacramento.
Well, let's dig a little deeper. The Schools and Local Public Safety Protection Act is not going to do that. Is that what you're saying?
Right. If you look at the measure closely, there is no new money guaranteed to schools, but they're campaigning on that. They're saying that we need this money to give to local school districts and local schools and help your teachers and whatnot, but there's no new money within this measure to pay for those issues. And what they're using the initiative for is to actually try to balance the budget. California's budget has been out of whack for a number of years now. We've seen these temporary tax increases in the past before. They've tried it. Mm-hmm. Voters demanded that they actually do the reforms necessary to balance the budget, but Sacramento's gotten the money, but hasn't held up their end of the bargain for actually making the reforms and making a balanced budget for California.
You know, many teachers are depending on this passing. Back the San Diego Unified, for example, had all these teachers that were going to be laid off. They made deals on all this. Contingent plan was to pass this thing. You're saying even if it passes, it may not help the schools and the districts the way they originally intended.
Absolutely. You actually have two sections of Sacramento, the governor's office and the California Legislative Analyst's office, who can't even come to agreement on how much money this will actually raise. We have a $16 billion budget deficit for 2013, and we have estimates that range between $5 and $7 billion and how much Prop 30 actually bring in. So even if we gave them the tax increases, we still don't have enough money to balance the budget. What we can do, though, is demand the reforms that taxpayers have demanded for a number of years now, and we've seen it within the city of San Diego. You have Sacramento politicians who are essentially giving us pension reform light, and using that as a ploy to get this ballot measure passed. We have Sacramento politicians spending hundreds of millions of dollars on high-speed rail that will be built in the middle of nowhere. And you have a parks department who is finding money under couch cushions, I guess, $50 million that they have, but just 2 years ago, they were asking for another tax increase to pay for parks.
Okay, so let's break this thing down. If it were to pass, how would it affect the individuals and separately those making over $250,000?
Right. For those making over $250,000, and we have a graphic, they will see the highest amount of tax increases, between 1% and 3%. They will see on their income. And then the sales tax, a quarter percent sales tax.
So that's the
increase.
income tax.
That's the income tax section.
For just those over $250,000 will see that increase.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then for the quarter-cent sales tax increase, that will go and impact everybody. One of the things that they don't take into account is that California right now is the second highest income tax rate state in the nation. This measure would put them number one. Only Hawaii right now is ahead of us. We already have the highest sales tax in the country. And we have evidence and experience in other states throughout the country where they've implemented this millionaire's tax, and we've seen those high-income earners leave.
Right.
And why is that? Because actually there are small businesses who file as an individual. And so this is not only just a personal income tax increase, it's a business tax increase.
All right, Chris Cate, so reform instead of tax.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Your opinions.